In this video, we're going to build a donation website or app using React.js. At the top, we have a dark and light mode toggle. When you click on the moon icon, it switches to a sun icon, which means we're changing themes using React logic, not CSS tricks. Below that, you'll see Available on Card, where we display a balance in dollars. This is a random dynamic value, and it behaves like a real-world application. Next, we have a Pay button. When you click it, you're redirected to the donation page, where you can select a company. Under the Companies section, we have multiple options like PayPal, Stripe, and MasterCard. Each company has its own Donate button. If you click the PayPal Donate button, PayPal is already pre-selected on the donation page. Initially, if no company has been supported yet, you'll see a message that says, "No donations yet. Start supporting companies you love." When you click the Pay button, we're using React Router, so the page does not reload. You'll notice /donate added to the URL. There's also a back button that lets you return to the home page seamlessly. On the donation page, you can choose a company and select a donation amount like 10, 25, 50, or 100. If you click Donate Now without selecting a company, a beautifully animated validation message appears. Please select a company. If you select PayPal but don't enter an amount, you'll see, "Please enter an amount." If you enter a negative value like -2 or even letters, you'll get, "Enter a valid donation amount." Once you enter a valid amount, let's say $110, and click Donate Now, you're redirected back to the home page after about 1 second, along with a message that says, "Donation successful." Now on the home page, you'll see your donation listed, for example, PayPal for $110. The Available on Card balance is automatically updated, and the donation amount is subtracted in real time. If you click the MasterCard Donate button, MasterCard is already selected on the donation page. Donating $25 via MasterCard updates both the recent donations list and the card balance again. Supporting Visa with $255 updates the balance instantly. The best part is that this application is fully responsive for both mobile and desktop. It looks and behaves like a professional website or app. You can test the mobile view using the link in the description. Now, without wasting any time, let's start this project step by step from the very beginning. First, create a new folder and name it Donate App. You can name it anything you prefer. Open this folder and then open VS Code inside it. VS Code is our code editor. If you haven't installed it yet, go ahead and install it first. The first thing we'll do in VS Code is open the terminal. Click the 3 dots at the top, choose Terminal, and then select New Terminal. We're going to create this project using Vite. So the first command we will run is npm create Vite at latest. After running this command, it will ask for the project name. Press the dot key and hit Enter. Since we already created a folder, we don't need Vite to make another one. Next, it will ask for the package name. Use the same name as the folder, but remember, use lowercase letters only. Replace any spaces with a dash. So we will type Donate App. Press Enter. Now it will ask which framework you want to use. Select React. After that, choose JavaScript. When it asks if you want to install and run npm, select Yes. This will install all dependencies and start the local development server. It may take a few moments to finish processing and installing packages through npm. Once it's done, you will see a link like localhost:5173 open, that in your browser. If the page loads, it means the React plus Vite project is running successfully. Next, we need to clean up some default files. Clear the content inside. app.jsx, app.css, index.css. Now open app.jsx. Create a function called app, return something simple for now, and make sure to export the app function. Inside the src folder, create a new folder named Components. Inside Components, create a file called header.jx. This will be used for our header section. In header.jsx, create a function named header and export it. Inside the header component, add a tag. Now go back to app.jsx and import the header component. VS Code will auto-import it once you type header inside the app component. Assign a class name of header to your header tag. Inside it, add a with the class profile contact. Inside this div, add a span, and inside the span, place an img tag. I have already downloaded an image for the profile. Inside the Assets folder, create 2 new folders. Company logo profile icon. I've already placed several images in these folders, like Google, Stripe, and Visa logos. If you want the same files, the download link is in the description. You will find ready-made project assets there. Now import the profile picture inside header.jx and use it in the img tag. When you check the browser, the image should appear. Below the span, add an H3 tag for the profile name. I'm using the name Anthony Jones. Next, under the same div, create another div with the class nav icon. Now go to Google and search for box icons. Click View All, then select View 3.5K free icons. In the search bar, type Setting. Click Use, copy the URL link, and paste it inside index.html as a style sheet link. Go back to box icons, copy the code for the setting icon bxbxcog, and paste it inside the nav icon div. Then search for notification on box icons, copy the bell icon, and place it below the setting icon. You can now see both icons appearing in the browser. Inside the src folder, create another folder called Styles, and inside it create header.css, and import header.css inside header.jsx. Now, one important thing before we continue. For styling, we will use only CSS. I am assuming that you already know CSS, so I will not explain how the styles are written. I will write the CSS quickly, and we will not focus on styling at all. Our main focus in this section is logic, not UI design. The header styling is already completed. Now, inside the styles folder, we will create a new file called theme.css. This file will be used to handle dark mode and light mode. Inside theme.css, we will define CSS variables using :root and the data theme attribute. I have already prepared this file with all the required theme variables. Instead of writing everything manually, I strongly recommend downloading the theme.css file directly from GitHub. The download link is provided in the description. That file already contains all the required theme logic. After creating theme.css, go to the src folder and create a new folder called Context. Inside the Context folder, create a file named themecontext.jsx. This file will contain all the logic that controls the theme, switching from light to dark and dark to light. First, we import createContext, useState, and useEffect from React. Then we create a context called themeContext using createContext. Next, we create and export a component called themeProvider. This component will receive children as props, meaning it will wrap our entire application. Inside themeProvider, we create a state called theme using useState. We set the default value to light, so when the app loads for the first time, the light theme is applied. You can change this to dark if you prefer. Now, we use useEffect for 2 purposes. We apply the theme to the HTML document using the data theme attribute. In the first useEffect, we check if a theme already exists in local storage. If a saved theme is found, we update the state with that value. This effect runs only once when the component mounts. In the second use effect, we also save the current theme to local storage. This effect runs every time the theme changes. Next, we create a function called toggle theme. This function switches the theme. If the current theme is light, it changes to dark. If the current theme is dark, it changes to light. This creates a toggle effect. Finally, we return themeContext.provider. Inside its value, we pass both theme and toggle theme, so they can be accessed anywhere in the app. We also render children inside the provider. At this point, our theme logic is complete. Next, go to app.jsx. Here, we import theme.css. We do this in app.jsx so that the theme styles apply globally to the entire application. Then, go to main.jx. Import theme provider and wrap your app inside it. We do not need to import theme context here. Only theme provider is required. This ensures the theme logic is available throughout the entire app. Now go to header.jx. Here, we import use context and theme context. Using use context, we extract theme and toggle theme. Inside the navigation icons section, we conditionally render icons. If the theme is light, we show the moon icon. If the theme is dark, we show the sun icon. When the icon is clicked, the toggle theme function runs and switches the theme. Finally, in index.css, keep your default global styles such as margin and padding reset. Also, define the background color and text color for the body so the theme colors apply properly. Okay, nothing is showing on the screen right now, so let's find out why this is happening. After checking the code, the issue is in themecontext.jx. The mistake is with the children prop. We wrote it with a capital letter, but in React, it must start with a lowercase c. React is case sensitive, and this small mistake prevents the app from rendering. So, we fix the spelling by changing it to children with a lowercase letter. Once we save the file, the page reloads automatically. Now you can see that both dark mode and light mode are working smoothly. Perfect. We have successfully achieved what we wanted. Next, we noticed that some styling was missing for the last icon inside the nav icon section. So now, we will add a bit of styling to it. I won't explain the CSS here. I'll just write the code. I'll keep the background sound on while doing this. Alright, the styling is done. As you can see, the header is now fully responsive. It works well on both mobile and desktop screens. All three icons are styled properly, and everything looks clean and aligned. With this, our header section is complete up to this point. If we focus on one thing, it's that it is responsive, meaning it already works well on different screen sizes. But we need to slightly reduce the size of the icon, the text, and the profile picture in the mobile view. So, we will go and create a file called mediaquery.css inside the styles folder. After creating this file, we will also import it into app.jxks. We are importing it into app.jx because we want to use this media query for the entire website. After importing it, we will open mediaquery.css. Here, we will select a media query with a max width of 430 pixels. I don't want to explain this code because you already know media queries for website design. So, let's skip the explanation and quickly make the header responsive. Okay, Our media query code for making the header responsive is complete. Now, we will create the home page. Inside the SRC folder, create a folder called Page. Inside the Page folder, create another folder named Home Page. Inside the Home Page folder, create a file called balancecard.jsx. Inside balance-card.jsx, we export a default function named balancecard. Inside this function, we return a section. Inside the section, we add a main and give it a class name of home page. Now, inside this main section, we create a div with the class name balance. Inside it, we add an h2 tag and write available on card. Below that, we add an h1 tag and write a random value. This value is just for display purposes. Now go to app.jx and import the balance card component. Place it below the header so we can see the output in the browser. Create a div and add class name BTN. Inside this div, we will later place our action buttons. Below this, we create a div with the class name Suggest Company. Inside it, we render the Suggested Company component. We also create another Suggest Company section, which we will use later. Next, inside the homepage folder, create a file named actionbutton.jx. Inside this file, export a default function called PayButton. Inside the PayButton component, we return two buttons. The first one is a Pay button. It has a Pay button below it. We add a dollar icon using box icons. The second one is a Deposit button. It has a button deposit below it. We add a plus icon. At this point, both buttons are only for UI. There is no logic yet. Now go back to Balance Card. Import the Action Button component and use it inside the Balance BTN div. You can now see both buttons displayed on the screen. Below the Balance section, we create another div with the class name limit. Inside it, we add two span elements, one for transfer limit, one for $12,000. Next, we will work on the Suggested Companies section. Inside the homepage folder, create a file called companies.js. Here, we import all the company logos. PayPal, Stripe, MasterCard, Visa, Apple Pay, Google Pay. Then we create an array called companies. Each object contains an ID, a name, a logo. Next, we create home.css file inside style folder and import it inside balance card component. We go back to home.css and I won't explain this code. You already know how it works. Just go to GitHub and download it. I'll play background music. Our homepage style complete. Now create a component called companylist.jx. Export default function. Company list receives, title action, label companies render. Write then, return first. At the top, we display the title and the action label. Below that, we map through the company's array. For each company, we display the logo and company name, and below we display the button passed using Render Right Next. Create a component called Suggested_Company.jx. Here, we import company list and the company's array. And export default function. Suggested company. Then we return the company list component. We pass the title as company, the action label as view, all the company's array. Inside RenderWrite, we render a donate button with an icon. There is no logic here, it's only UI. And import suggested company inside balance card, and also add suggested company component inside suggest company. Now, when you check the browser, you can see the balance section, the action buttons, the list of suggested companies. Everything is displayed correctly. Now, adding the style to the balance card, we go back to home.css. I won't explain this code. You already know how it works. Just go to GitHub and download it. I'll play background music. If we focus on our current component, it doesn't look quite right. To fix this, we'll go to the balance card component. We will move the main content upward and wrap it only up to the balance button. The suggested company and view sections will be moved outside of this main container. Now, if you look at the UI, you can see that the issue is fixed and the layout looks perfectly fine. Next, we'll make it slightly responsive. So, we'll go into the media query file. I won't explain the details here. I'll turn off the background sound and quickly write the code. Alright, our styling is mostly complete now, and the layout is responsive. Next, we'll create a new folder inside the page directory and name it Donation. Inside the Donation folder, we'll create a file called donatepage.jsx. We'll create a function named donatePage and also export it. Inside the return statement, and give it the class name DonationPage. For now, we'll just write hello inside the donatePage component so we can see the output. Now we have an important step. Open the terminal and install React Router DOM using npm install. Once the installation is complete, you can check vite.config.js to confirm that React is set up correctly. After that, go to app.jsx and import donatePage. Also, import routes and route from React Router DOM. Once route is imported, add routes inside the app component. Inside routes, we'll keep the balance card. Then, add a route and define the path. We'll set the path to die since this is our home page. For the element, we'll use balance card. This means when the path is it will show the home page. Next, we'll create another route for the donate page. Set the path to /donate and use donate page as the element. Now, when someone visits /donate, they will see the donate page. Next, go to the action button component. Here, we'll import useNavigate from React Router DOM. Inside the pay button component, we'll initialize useNavigate. Then we'll create a function called handleDonate. Inside this function, we'll navigate to /donate. Now, on the pay button, we'll call handleDonate using the onClick event. When someone clicks the pay button, the function will run and redirect them to the donate page. After that, go to main.jsx. Import browser router from React Router DOM. Then wrap the app component inside browser router. Now, if you check the browser, you'll see a package error. The error message says, router is not defined. To fix this, open the terminal again. First, run the command, npm install. Then run npm install React Router DOM. Earlier, we typed the package name incorrectly and missed the hyphen, which caused the installation to fail. Now that we've run the correct command, the package installs successfully. You can see that React Router DOM version 7 is now installed. Refresh the browser and click the pay button. You should now see hello, which confirms that the donate page is working. So, our React Router DOM setup is successful. Nice. Everything is working as expected. Now, we will visit the donation page again. Here, we will create a div and give it the class name donation header. Inside this div, we will add a button and give it the class name back button. Inside the button, we will add a back arrow icon, such as BX arrow left. Below the icon, we will write the text back. After the back button, we will add an tag. We will give it the class name donation title and set the text to make a donation. Below this, we will create another div with the class name donation card. Inside the donation card, we will add an icon such as BX donate heart and give it the class name donation icon. Below the icon, we will add a label with the class name form label and the text select company. Under this label, we will add a select element with the class name form select. For now, we will leave the value empty. Inside the select element, we will add multiple options. The first option will be choose a company. With an empty value PayPal, Stripe, MasterCard, Visa, Google Pay next. We will add another label with the class name form label and the text donation amount. Below this label, we will add an input element with type set to number class name, form input placeholder set to $0.00. After that, we will create a div with the class name preset buttons. Inside this div, we will define an array with values 10, 25, 50, and 100. You can use any values you prefer. We will use the .map method to generate buttons from this array. For each button, the key will be the value, the class name will be preset, btn. The button text will be the value itself. Finally, we will add a button with the class name donation submit. Inside this button, we will add a heart icon such as BX heart, followed by the text, donate now. At this point, the JSX structure for the donation page is complete. I will now quickly write the styling without explaining it. As you can see, the donation page UI is fully styled and looks clean and professional, similar to what you would expect from a real production website. With this, the donation page UI is complete. Next, we will scroll up and call Use Navigate here. On the back button, we will use an on-click arrow function. When someone clicks the back button, it will redirect them to the home page. After that, we will create another context inside the context folder. We will name it appcontext.jx. After creating the app context file, open it. First, we will import create context, use state, and use context. After importing these three, we will create app context using create context. Next, we will export a default function and name it app provider. Inside app provider, we will take children as a prop. Inside app provider, we will start creating our states. The first state will be for balance, along with set balance. Here, you can put any random balance value you want. After that, we will create a second state called donations, with set donations, and initialize it as an empty array. Next, we will create a third state called supported companies, along with set supported companies, and initialize this as an empty array as well. After that, we will create another state called toast. We will use setToast and initialize it with an object containing a message and a type. Next, we will create a function called showToast. This will be an arrow function that takes two parameters, message type, with a default value of error. Inside this function, we will call setToast, passing the message and type inside an object. Below this, we will use setTimeout. This timeout will run for 2 seconds, which is 2000 milliseconds. Inside it, we will reset the toast by calling setToast again with an empty message and type. After that, we will create another function called validateBalance. This will be an arrow function that takes amount as a parameter. Inside this function, we will check whether the current balance is greater than or equal to the amount. Next, we will create a deposit function. This will be an arrow function that takes amount as a parameter. Inside this function, we will update the balance using setBalance. We will take the previous balance and add the amount to it. After that, we will create the donate function. This function will take two parameters, company amount. Inside this function, we will first check whether the balance is valid for the donation amount. If the balance is not sufficient, we will return success as false, along with the message, insufficient balance. If the balance is sufficient, we will subtract the amount from the balance using setBalance. Next, we will create an object called new donation. This object will contain the company name, the donation amount, the date, using new date, toISO string. After that, we will update the donation state. We will use setDonations, passing the previous value, and create a new array using the spread operator. The new donation will be added at the beginning of the array. Next, we will update the supported company's state. Inside this, we will create a variable called existing. We will use find to check whether the company already exists in the supported companies list. If the company already exists, we will return a new array using map. If the company matches, we will update its total donation amount. Otherwise, we will return the existing company data as it is. If the company does not exist, we will return a new array. We will spread the previous companies and add a new object containing the company name, the total donation amount. Finally, we will return success as true, along with the message, donation successful. At the bottom, we will return appContext.provider. Inside the provider, we will pass balance donations, supported companies, donate, deposit, validate balance, toast, show toast. Then we will go to main.jsx. Here, we will import app provider. We will take the app provider and wrap the app component inside it. Next, we will visit the donation page. Here, we will import use app context. Inside the donate page function, we will define the following variable: const, donate, showToast, balance. Use app context. Below that, we will work with the URL parameters. We will write const params equals use search params. This will allow us to read values from the URL. Next, we will create a variable called default company. Const default company, params.get company. This will return the company name if it exists in the URL. If not, it will return an empty string. After that, we will create a state for the selected company. Const selected company, set selected company, equals useState open parenthesis default company, close parenthesis. This means the selected company state will be initialized with the value from the URL. Next, we will create another state for the donation amount. Const amount set amount equals use state. Initially, this value will be an empty string. Now, we will create an arrow function called handleDonate. Inside this function, we will start with validations. First, we check if no company is selected. If that is the case, we will use showToast to display the message, "Please select a company." After showing the message, we return. Next, we add another condition. If no amount is entered, we will show the message, "Please enter an amount," and then return. Now, we add another validation. If the amount is less than or equal to 0, we will show insufficient balance and return. After that, we check if the amount is greater than the balance. If it is, we will show the message, "Enter a valid donation amount," and return. Once all validations pass, we create a variable called result. Const result equals donate open parenthesis, selected company comma close parenthesis, number amount. We use number because the amount must be treated as a numeric value. Next, we check if the donation was successful. If result, success is true, we will show the message, donation successful. After a successful donation, we reset the states, set amount, set selected company, then we set a timeout. Set timeout, navigate, 1000. This means after 1 second, the user will be redirected back to the home page. Now, we move down to the form elements. For the select field, we set the value as value equals selected company. On change, we update the state using onChange equals e equals set. Selected company equals e.target.value. This allows us to track which company is selected. For the input field, we set the value as value and/or amount. On change, we update it using onChange e. Set amount e.target.value. Further down, for the preset amount buttons, we add an onClick event. Since we are mapping over values like 10, 25, 50, and 100, clicking any button will set that value as the donation amount. Finally, for the Donate Now button, we add an onClick event that calls the handleDonate function. With this, the donation logic and form handling are complete, and everything is now connected properly. This part is very important, because this function needs to be called for the entire logic to work properly. After that, we will scroll up and import use search params. Since it is already imported above, we'll remove the duplicate import. The third issue we encounter is inside app context. We forgot to export the context hook. So, we will export it by writing. We'll create an arrow function named useAppContext, and inside it, we'll return useContext, appContext. Another thing we missed is children inside appContext.provider. So we also need to include children inside the appContext.provider so that the wrapped components can render properly. Now, we will move to app.jx, which is our main file. But before that, we need to create one more important component. Inside the components folder, we will create a file named toast.jx. Inside this file, we will export a default function named toast. This function will take toast as a prop. Inside the toast component, we will first check. If there is no toast.message, we will return null. This ensures that nothing is rendered when there is no toast message. If a message exists, we will return a div with the class name toast container. We will also include toast.type in the class name using a template string, so the styling can change based on the toast type. Inside this div, we will add a tag that displays toast.message. After this, we will go back to app.jx. Here, we will import both toast and useAppContext. Inside the app component, we will extract toast from useAppContext. Then, inside the return statement, we will render the toast component like this. We pass toast equals toast as a prop. Now, when we refresh the page, everything works correctly. You can see that on the donation page, we can manually select preset values like $10, $25, $50, or $100. If we click the Donate button without selecting a company, we get the message, "Please select a company." This confirms that our validation logic is working correctly. Before testing further, let's go back to the home page. The toast message is currently working, but it is not styled. So now, we'll style it. I won't explain the styling part. Just watch while I play some background music. Before finishing the styling, we'll create another important component called recentdonation.jx. Inside this file, we will import Use App Context Companies. Company list. What I've done here is very simple. I created the recentdonation.jx file and imported those three things. Then I exported a default function named recentDonation. Inside this function, we'll extract donations from Use App Context. Next, we'll create a variable called recent, which will be equal to donations slice 05. This will give us the latest 5 donations. After that, we'll add a condition. If recent length is equal to 0, we will return a div with the class name empty state. Inside this div, and with the text, no donations yet, with the text, start supporting companies you love. If donations exist, we move on. We will map over the recent donations. We'll create a variable called mapped, which will be recent.map.don.chaprfi. Inside the map, we find the company from the companies list. We match C, name, chak, don.company. Then we return an object containing ID date name, don.company logo, using optional chaining, company.logo amount, don.amount. After that, we return the company list component. We pass title, recent donations, action label, view all, companies, mapped. For render right, we return a span with the class name donate amount. Inside it, we display item.amount. To fixed to. We use to fixed to format the amount properly. At this point, the logic for recent donations is almost complete. The only thing left is styling. So now, I'll style toast.jx and the remaining UI. I won't explain the styling. Just enjoy the background sound while I finish it. Now, if we go to the PayPal Donate section and click on the Donate button, you'll notice that nothing happens. But this is not the behavior we want. What should actually happen is this. When we click on the PayPal Donate button, we should be redirected to the Donate page, and PayPal should already be selected there by default. So, how do we fix this? First, go to the Suggested Company component. Inside this component, you'll see a Donate button rendered below each company. Now, we will apply an on-click event to this button. When the button is clicked, it should navigate to the Donate page. But we don't just want to navigate to /donate. We also want to pass the company name so that it's already selected on the donation page. To do this, we'll use template literals. We'll navigate like this: /donate ? company equals item.name. This way, the selected company is passed through the URL as a query parameter. Now, scroll up and call const navigate equals use navigate. Let's test it. We click on PayPal Donate, and you can see PayPal is already selected. We go back, click on MasterCard Donate, and again, it's already selected. This logic is now complete and working perfectly. Next, if you look at the available on card balance, you'll notice another issue. The value is static. But this balance should be dynamic, meaning it should decrease when a donation is made. So let's fix that. Go to the balance card component. Here, we need to bring the balance from app context. So we'll write const balance use app context. Now, inside the tag, replace the static number with balance.toLocal string. This formats the number properly and makes it dynamic. If you go back to app context, you can see the initial balance value inside the state. You can set this value to anything you like. Now, when a donation happens, the balance updates correctly. Our available on card logic is now complete. Next, we need to show recent donations on the home page. Go back to balance card. Below the suggested company component, we'll render the recent donations component. As soon as we do this, it should appear below the company list. But right now, nothing is showing. We should be seeing no donations yet. Start supporting companies you love. But they're missing. So something is wrong. Let's go to the recent donations file. Look carefully at the condition. We wrote recent.late 0. That's the problem. The word length is misspelled. It should be recent.length 0. Once we fix this spelling mistake, the empty state appears correctly. Now you can see no donations yet. Start supporting companies you love. This issue is now fixed. At this point, the application is fully responsive and works perfectly on mobile devices. I'll provide the project link in the description so you can try it yourself. You'll notice that validation messages appear correctly. The form does not submit until all required fields are filled. The selected company appears properly. The donation amount updates the balance. Recent donations are displayed correctly. You can donate to PayPal, then to MasterCard, choose any amount, and everything updates in real time. The app looks clean and professional in both light mode and dark mode. So, with this, our project is complete. We'll end the video here. The main purpose of this project was to master the core fundamentals of React. How state works, how props work, how to build reusable components, how context works in a real-world scenario. We've created a professional, responsive web application that works beautifully on both desktop and mobile. If you enjoyed this project and want more videos like this, let me know in the comments which project you'd like to see next. I hope you found this helpful. See you in the next video.